Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Epiphany, and for those of you that have been liking, sharing and commenting on my page, thank you so much. We've reached 500 subscribers. Honestly, when I started YouTube, I had no idea that I would even get like 100 subscribers, because I was just thinking, like, I overthink a lot personally. I overthink everything that I do. I'm a perfectionist. I like everything to be like on point. And I have to say thank you from the bottom of my dearest heart that I have. I really appreciate it, because I was quite scared to do YouTube. I really was. I was very scared, and I kept putting it off. I'd make videos, I would delete them. I'd make videos, I'd delete them. But thank you for pushing me. Thank you for pushing my content out, and hopefully you get to see my channel grow even bigger. Today's video, where am I? I'm currently in Boston. I'm on a 4-day trip with work, and I decided, you know what, let me just do a little video. I feel like whenever I'm away, that's when I can make the most and the best content, because when I'm at home, I'm always busy, I'm always doing something, and with my family, I don't really have that much time when I'm at home. But when I'm down route with work, I always find like I get a couple of hours to myself where I can be like in my hotel room and I get to do stuff. So you'll probably notice that a lot of my videos, you probably would never really see me do a video in my bedroom. It will always be like in a hotel room. But this video today was going to be orientated around the whole weight gain journey. A lot of people have like asked me, basically, they'll just be asking me about tips, like how did you gain weight? Because I feel like a lot of people have been watching me on social media for a little while, and they've noticed like I was quite slim thick, then I went really slim, like to a size 4, and then I got thick again. But I do want to make a disclaimer that anything that I put in this video is from my personal journey. I'm not promoting any brand. I'm not promoting anything. I don't want anyone to go and test and trial what I say today, because it helps me, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work for you. So yeah, I just want to get that out of the way first, because I don't want no one to come to me complaining. Do you understand? I don't want no one coming to me saying, girl, I tried it and this. No, okay? I'm going to tell you what I did, and that is it. So for a little timeline, I'm gonna make sure that like you guys get to see the timeline. So growing up, I was always really skinny. Like going to school, I was in sports. You know, I did athletics, I played football, I did netball, I did all that kind of stuff after school, and I was in the football team at school and stuff like that. So I was quite slim. Like I was never chubby. I was a chubby baby, but I was never chubby like growing up. And then I left school. Obviously, I started to hit puberty and I went to college. When I was at college, I noticed that I did start to get some curves. I had a bottom. I definitely had a bottom, but I was still quite slim. Fast forward to probably, I would say when I was leaving college, that's when I noticed I was getting really thick. And around 2017, I flew out to America, and that's when I started to do like modeling. Really, I took my modeling career really seriously. I started doing like music videos, lingerie shoots, bikini shoots and stuff like that. But I would say it was a hard time in my life. Like at that point, I didn't really know what I knew what I wanted to do, but I didn't really know what I was doing at that time. I was moving at a fast pace. I was just trying to get my career on its legs. I was trying to make some money. I was trying to make myself happy. I was trying to do things that I loved, and I was going through a lot. Like I was going through a lot mentally. I didn't really have that many friends to talk to. I didn't really have friends that really understood my lifestyle, or didn't really understand where I was coming from. I felt like I had a few friends who were being quite fake to me, and I went through a lot in that time period. I would say from like 2016 to about 2018, 2019, I was going through quite a lot. And then I noticed that I started to lose my weight. So I was a bit thick, but I was like slim thick. I was probably about I was fitting into a size 8 dress, but jeans and stuff like that and trousers, I was wearing a size 10. And I noticed when I was in LA, I stopped like eating properly, and I started to lose my weight, which was like, it was all right, because I understood that maybe it's because I was on holiday, I wasn't really in the mood to eat. I was like getting booked for shoots and things like that, but I wasn't even taking the shoots, because mentally, I'm the type of person where if I'm not happy, I'm not gonna do something, even if it's gonna make me some money. And honestly, I was putting it all off, and I was just like, I can't make it, I'm not feeling too well. I was making excuses. So yeah, I just started to drop my weight about 2018. I went down to a size 6. like trousers. So I went from a size 10 to a size 6, and I was dropping my weight dramatically. And then I applied for British Airways, and I started my training in 2019. And this was around the time when my granddad had passed away. And when he passed away, like, that took a big toll on me. Like, it was huge emotionally. Like, I couldn't really, I'm the type of person where I'm okay with death. Like, I would like to say that I understand it a little bit. Well, I've got my own understanding of death, but I personally feel like that it really hit me. It was quite a shock to my system that, you know, I just got a call one day. I was heading out to go out with my friends. I got my makeup done. I did my hair and everything. I got dressed. And my mom called me and she was just like, your granddad had passed away. I took it really bad, to be fair. I didn't really want to talk to anyone. I deactivated my social media accounts. And I just stopped eating. I had training for BA. And I basically was eating once a week, that's a lie, sorry, once a day. I was eating once a day. I would go to training, I would have like little snacks and stuff like that, but I wouldn't really eat. I'd get home and I'd be doing my revision and I wouldn't really eat. Then I noticed like I was starting to not fit into my size 6 clothes. That's when I noticed there was a problem. But at the time, I didn't really care that there was a problem because I was so focused on getting my exams done, passing my exams, getting my job and all of that stuff. So I don't really care. My mum was noticing it and she was just like, everyone around me was noticing it, to be fair. Everyone was just like, oh, you've gone really small, Pip. Like, are you okay? And stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, I'm totally fine. But I wasn't. Obviously, I wasn't. But I didn't want to burden anybody with my emotions. Like, I didn't want to be putting it onto anybody and be like, oh, yeah, it's this and blah, 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 blah. Like, there were certain people I would confide in, especially my mom. But I just felt like I didn't want to keep going on about it. I wanted to sort it out myself. But it was hard. I started the job, you know, traveling around. You always fly in a different time zone. So you could be on the plane and you're eating dinner at 3 o'clock in the morning. Do you know what I mean? Like, my body was not getting the right stuff at the right time. I was hardly eating things. I would take 2 bites and I'm finished and I'm full. I would literally have 3 bites of something and I was full and I'm done eating the food, especially like burgers and stuff. I used to love eating burgers and I'd take 2 bites and I'm like, I don't want it. I tried to eat food that I loved. It wasn't working. So that was going on for about 2 years, no joke. For about 2 years, I was very mentally like, to everybody else that was watching me, they could see it was like something was going on, but I was still smiling and I was so happy and I was still posting in pictures like, cheese, I'm happy. But low-key, I wasn't. I was going through a lot. I wanted help. I didn't know where to get the help. I didn't want to burden my close family and friends with, you know, my issues, but I just didn't know what to do. And then COVID hit. This is fast forward, okay, let's go to 2020 now. And I was going on holiday with my friends. Something happened and I wasn't able to like join me on this holiday, and I ended up spending time on this holiday alone. And I was reading this book and it was talking about meditation. Now, I had been doing meditation when I was younger because that was something my mom had taught me, but I never like carried it on. I kept like taking pauses and like stopping it, especially around, I would say meditation helped me the most around like my exam period time. Because I suffer with irritable bowel, so whenever I'm stressing or something's going on in my life, my stomach starts to activate and that's it. Like my stomach, I'd get really bad cramps, and that was happening like over the 2 years. So I was trying to think back to myself whilst I was on this holiday on my own, and it wasn't a planned holiday. Like I wasn't meant to be there on my own. So I was thinking like, what can I do? What can I do to try like help myself? And whilst I was reading this book, it was talking about meditation, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, you know what? I haven't meditated in a very long time. Maybe I should like pick it back up and see like where it goes. And then I found out that my auntie had passed away. Now, my auntie that passed away whilst I was on this trip, she was like a grandma to me, basically. She was like another grandma, and she was lovely. May she rest in peace, her beautiful soul. And that hit me. I was away from my family. I couldn't console my mom and, you know, my aunties and my cousins that were affected by her passing. And I was reaching for something whilst I was on this holiday. I feel like even now, like it gets me a bit emotional. I am a very emotional person, but it was really really hard to face what I was facing away from my family. Um, and yeah, I started meditating really hard on that trip when I was in Mauritius, and believe it or not, I was finding like the answers in my meditation. Like for me, my mind, even sometimes you probably notice I speak really fast. I stumble over my words a bit, and my mind's constantly like going, especially when I'm sleeping. I suffer with insomnia quite badly a lot of the time if I'm not meditating or focusing on trying to fall asleep. I'll be awake at like 7 o'clock till 7 o'clock in the morning, and I'll wake back up again at 9 a.m. and then I'm fine, and then I want to sleep again. It's a continuous cycle. But yeah, I started meditating really really hard, and I started to keep a journal. I started to write in my journal every day, and then I was thinking to myself, like, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? You need to, figure it out. Then we went into lockdown, obviously. I'm away on holiday, and then Boris Johnson's talking about we're going into a lockdown. What do you mean? You're gonna close down the borders, and I'm in Mauritius. So I'm like packing my suitcases. I'm on the phone to my mom, like, Mom, I gotta come home. We're gonna come home. I'm scared. I'm in a country on my own with nobody else like with me. And Boris is talking about he's closing the borders. So I was like looking at my flight ticket, and I'm like, okay, you've got like 3 more days. I'm sure they'll let you in. They did let me back in. But when we got back in, I'm the type of person, the reason why I do the job that I do is because you cannot contain me in a small space. I like to explore, I like to do things. So when we came back and it was locked down, I was like, nah, I don't think I can manage this for very long. There's no way. I was put on furlough from work, so that meant like I was getting paid a percentage of my salary by the government, but I wasn't at work. So I was just like, you know what, Epiphany, what are you gonna do? I messaged my nan in Jamaica, and I was like, Nan, don't mind the watermark, guys. I was like, I want to come to Jamaica and I need a break. Now, to me, okay, like when I evaluated it, I was like, am I running away from my problems, or am I trying to find a solution? And I was kind of doing both at the same time. But going away, I knew if I went away, I was going to be able to digest everything that was happening and like figure out something that would work. I got to Jamaica. I had to quarantine for 2 weeks, and during this time, like during the time in Jamaica, it was like I'm back home, I'm with my family, next to the beach. Like where my nan stays, it's literally the beach is right behind the house. So every day when I woke up in the morning, I would go swim in the ocean. I would just pick up my book. I was reading Positive Thoughts by The Power of Positive Thinking by Norman Vincent Pillay. I'm not quite sure how you pronounce his last name. I'll post the book as well so you can see it. And I was reading that book, and it was like hitting me. The words that he was saying was hitting like deep in my core, and I was like, okay, there's obviously something wrong. You've been going through a lot. You need to let go of a lot of the things that you've been going through. It was hard because for a long time, I'm trying not to get sad. For a long time, I'd been posting on social media just like a regular person would, and also I was doing modeling, so it was a part of my job to promote different brands like bikinis and stuff. And when I noticed I was getting like a bit of a following, I noticed people was changing around me. The comments that I was getting weren't that nice, so people was really really negative. And I had to keep putting that behind my head and just be like, you know what, you're Epiphany, you know who you are, you know what you want to do with your life. Be happy with who you are and be true to yourself. And that's basically what the book was like telling me, just keep thinking positive and keep pushing for the better version of yourself and the better version of the life that you want to live. So at this time, I'm still like doing my whole journal. I'm writing in it every day. Like anytime I wanted to get something out of my mind, I would write it in my journal. And at the end of the month, when I was in Jamaica, I decided to read through like a few of the pages, and honestly, like I just sat at the beach and I was crying my eyes out, because most of it was just a young girl who wanted to see the world, who like I just wanted to enjoy life. And I felt like a lot of people was taking out their lives on me. They may not have the life that I live, or they may not agree to the things that I do, and that was affecting me. That's why I basically wasn't eating anymore. I didn't want to be seen as this thick bad thing. This thick girl on the internet that posts like in clothes, and then sometimes she is in bikinis, and sometimes she's in lingerie, and then sometimes she's on holiday, sometimes she's not. I didn't want people to see me as that. I just wanted people to just see me for me. So I realized I had been mentally stopping myself from eating because I didn't want people to just be judging me for the fact that I had a nice body. So that's what I saw in my journal, and honestly, there was loads of other things. You know, childhood traumas that I'd been like, obviously I'd been holding in my memory, but I didn't realize that my consciousness was still thinking about those times. So yeah, I had to sit with myself, and honestly, I'm a spiritual person. I'm not a religious person. I do pray. It's not that I'm an atheist or I don't believe in a God. I do believe in God. I personally just don't believe in. I'm not a religious person. Basically, I'm more of a spiritual person, and I do believe of a higher being and a higher power and a higher source of, you know, the world. And I had to give myself to that higher being and the higher source, and I had to give myself to the Most High and pray. I was praying a lot, and the meditation was giving me the answers that I needed, because it was all there in my mind, but I just couldn't see it, and I had to let go. I really had to let go of a lot of things. People keep asking me like, oh, but what was your gym workout routine, and you must have taken something. I did take aptamine. I don't know how to pronounce it, but I took like 1 bottle of that, well, 1.5 bottles, and honestly, it wasn't even doing anything to me. It was mainly my mental state. My mental state needed to get back on track, and that's how I gained my weight. So whilst I was in Jamaica, I was like washing myself in the ocean, and I was praying, and I was meditating. I started to do my yoga again. I started to take little jogs. I was eating, you know, I was becoming like a happier version of me. And I started to set myself new goals. By the end of the trip, I had stopped fitting into my clothes that I brought in my suitcase. So I was just like dishing out some of my clothes to my cousins and stuff, because I was like, I'm not gonna fit in this, so you guys take it, because I couldn't fit in the clothes anymore. I got back home, and I was just happy to be home. I was happy to see my family, my mom and my brother, and everything was flowing. I was still reading the book. Everything was flowing at this point. I was happy within myself that I let go of a lot of things, you know. I downloaded a few apps as well, some self-help therapy apps that was helping me. It was like setting me goals and things like that. So you'd wake up in the morning and you'd have like 5 different goals that you had to complete within that day, and then the next day you'd write down like how it made you feel and things like that. So that's literally all I did to gain my weight. I'd never been that slim before, only when I was really young. So I was just trying to gain back to what I was before, when I was at college and stuff like that, when I was doing my whole modeling. It was mainly dedication to becoming a better me. So my mental health was key for gaining the weight. Also, I started eating more. I wasn't just eating once a day. I started eating a lot more healthier, but when I was eating food, I was making sure I ate 3 times a day, or when I was hungry, because sometimes I'm not a breakfast person, but if I eat breakfast, I like to eat fruit or something simple like pancakes and little things like eggs and stuff like that. I don't like really big full English breakfast. I'm not a big breakfast person. But yeah, that's literally all I did. There's no magic gym workout routine that I can give you guys to show you. Like, I've started to go gym now. I said it in my previous videos that that was one of my goals this year. I wanted to start working out, no matter how tired I was or how drained I am, because with the schedule that I have right now with my job, it's hard. It's so goddamn hard to work out. But whatever hotel I get to when I'm at work, if there's a gym, I'll go. I'll try. I'll just do a little 40 minutes workout. But yeah, that's literally it, guys. That's all I did to gain my weight. I think everybody's different. For me, I noticed that it was mainly my mental health that needed to be looked at. But I want to say, what I want you guys to take from this video is that make sure you're taking care of yourselves, and make sure you're checking on your friends, because there was a few of my friends and family members that they it was hard because a lot of people kept saying, oh, you're skinny, you're skinny, you're skinny, and they didn't realize it's not their fault, but I would say that they didn't realize that saying that to me was making it worse, because I couldn't help it. I couldn't actually help the fact that I'd gone skinny. So telling me every time you saw me that I was skinny wasn't helping. It was actually making it worse, because I already knew that I'd gone really skinny. I knew I'd gone really slim. I knew I wasn't eating that much, but there was nothing I could do at that time. I just think having a good support system and being a good supporter to your friends and family is very important. But yeah, I would like to say thank you to those of you that did help me in that journey. And you know, it wasn't easy. I know I was quite a menace during that time. I wasn't nice. I was drinking a lot of alcohol. I was doing a lot of things like being quite aggravated over stuff. I'd be really emotional. I wasn't even thinking before I spoke. I'd just lash out, and then later on I'd apologize. And it wasn't a quite nice time to be around me. But I'm better now, and I'm in a much happier place. That's why I've got these chubby cheeks, and my weight gain journey it's been a tough one. It has been a tough one. I mean, it didn't take that long for me to gain weight from when I left Jamaica to now. I would say to how my body is now, it literally took about 6 months. 6 months of hard dedication of making sure that I became a happier person, and that's all I really did. But yeah, I hope you guys like this video. I wish I could give you more tips and stuff on how to gain weight. Personally, I would say get a personal trainer if you're struggling. If you've already got tips from other people and it's not working, get a personal trainer's advice. Do workout plans, get, you know, food diet plans and stuff like that, because a diet doesn't necessarily mean you're not eating. Because I did a healthy diet, I did fasting and stuff like that, and that worked for me. I mean, the type of food that I was eating was really like Jamaican food. Hard food, ackee and saltfish and stuff like that when I was in Jamaica. Lobsters. I was eating fresh lobsters as well. My nan's husband was catching the lobsters and I was eating it the next day. Do you know what I mean? That's the kind of food I was eating. I wasn't eating like McDonald's and KFC and all that kind of stuff. I do eat it now and again, but I try not to touch junk food. I like to eat healthy food. But yeah, I would say each to their own. If you're struggling to gain weight, I personally would say take a look at, you know, yourself a bit. Sometimes we're not as happy as we portray ourselves to be, and be yourself. And if you're a slim person, you're a slim person. Don't try to fit society's standards now of having this fake bottoms and big bums. A big bum is not for everybody. A lot of my friends are really slim, and I'm honestly jealous of them. They can wear really cute dresses that I cannot wear. Like, I can wear dresses like this, but I couldn't wear it without a bra, and they could. And there's like certain tops that they can wear that I can't wear, and certain things that I can wear that they can't wear. Embrace how you are, and that was my struggle. I wasn't embracing how I was for a while. I mean, I did, but then at the same time I knew that wasn't me. So yeah, embrace who you are. Try to be happy within yourself. Don't fake it for anybody, especially for yourself. And yeah, that's literally my weight gain journey. I'm still like struggling. I'm still trying to change different things. Not change them, I would say. I'm trying to tone up my body, because obviously I've gained a lot of weight. I've been eating. I've been eating like a lot of food. I've always been a foodie, that's the problem. So when I wasn't eating, it was a problem, but now it's like I'm trying to catch up, and I've been eating like 10 meals a day, but I'm trying to work out and I'm trying to tone up. That's all I've got for you guys. I don't have a magic plan or a magic wand to tell you what I did or That's all it is. But yeah, I hope you guys like this video. Share it, please. The more you like it and the more you share it, the more my page grows. And please, please, please subscribe. Thank you guys so much for helping me get to 500 subscribers again. I appreciate you all. Mwah! Have a great week.